today I want to touch on less effective behavior and communication styles. Um, those are passive and aggressive. So people with a passive communication and behavior style, they tend to not express their feelings, not express their needs and opinions to others. So when we do not assert our needs and what our opinion is, we often bottle up feelings of anger, resentment, and disappointment. Because this passive behavior erodes our self-esteem, we criticize ourselves for not speaking up and saying what we really think to keep the peace. So therefore, we end up doing things we do not enjoy to do, most likely can't afford to do, and really don't have the time to do. Eventually, this gets to a point where we can't control our feelings anymore and end up exploding. However, afterwards, we feel guilty and bottle things up again. It's just a vicious cycle. Compared to that, people with an aggressive communication style, they might react aggressively from the start in many interactions. There could be an underlying belief that others usually treat them unfairly. So they're constantly in an aggressive mode. So the victims feel put down and often the conversations escalate. So aggressiveness can result a person to always be on the verge of anger and anxiety. So what is the difference between being passive assertive and aggressive? So we all know the aggressive person. They kind of like are sarcastic, harsh, they're always right, feel superior. It's kind of like the know-it-all person. They interrupt, talk over others, are very critical, put others down, seem like a bit patronizing and disrespectful of others. So they believe they're entitled to have things done their way, the way they want it to be done, because they are right and others are less important. So kind of like, the person that's pointing fingers and making fists and generally don't really make friends, but rather enemies. They upset others and they always feel angry and resentful. Compared to that, the passive person is generally compliant, submissive, talks very little, is a bit non-committal, also puts themselves down sometimes and praises others rather. Generally has no opinion other than the other person's always more important, so it doesn't really matter what they think. The passive style is avoiding eye contact, looking down, and also giving in to others. And really, they never get what they want or need. They are self-critical and are not very happy. So assertive, what does that look like? That actually looks like your actions and your conversations are firm and polite. You send a clear message and you are also respectful of self and others. So for example, if at work, if there's a suggestion about something, what you could say is, that's a good idea. And how about if we did this too? Or I can see that, but I'd really like this and that. So the belief is that all individuals involved are equal. They are each deserving of respect. And no more nobody is entitled more than any other person to have things done their way. So it's more like a compromise and willing to compromise. They're generally friendly and open, have good relationships with others, and happy with the outcome, even if they had to compromise. So that is more like the assertive style, rather than the passive and aggressive.